Dear students, now the topic is combination of errors. First you measured distance from P to Q. Say you measured 5 times. You got different readings. Then what you do? You take mean of the 5 values. That is this value. Afterwards what you do? You take how the individual readings are deviating from the mean value. Those are called errors. Afterwards you take again average of the 5 errors, and that is this value. So whenever you make measurement, you measure it several times and finally you express the value in this form. Okay. Afterwards you measured distance from Q to R, and that is expressed as B plus or minus delta B. B is the mean value and delta B is error. Now you want to know the distance from P to R. Then what you can do? You can simply add these two individual distances, the distance PQ and the distance QR, because this stands for the distance PQ and this stands for the distance QR. So just by adding these two values you can find the value, the distance from P to R. Okay. Suppose the distance from P to R is Z. So you write here this as measured value of let me write PR. PR is equal to PQ plus QR. Okay. So the measured value of PR is expressed as Z plus or minus Z. PQ value from here to here, A plus or minus delta A. And this distance B plus or minus delta B. So in this way we write. So here now what we can do? Let us write the mean values side by side. Now plus or minus delta A plus or minus delta B. Here Z plus or minus delta Z. But Z is equal to A plus B. But Z is equal to A plus B. Therefore here see Z is a sum of A plus B readings now. So here Z, here A plus B gets cancelled. So we are left with delta Z is equal to plus or minus delta A plus or minus delta B. But see here delta A plus delta B. So what result we got? See, the net error in measuring the distance from P to R is just the sum of individual errors. Net error is just a sum of individual errors. See, the error committed in measurement of PQ is delta A, the error committed in measurement of distance QR is delta B. So the error committed in measurement of PR will be just the sum of individual errors, that is delta Z is equal to delta A plus delta B. So here you may say, see, this is plus or minus, you did not write minus here. So whenever error is concerned, we consider the maximum error. So this is maximum error. We always consider maximum error. When you take plus, you get maximum error. And when you take minus, you get minimum error. And sometimes if the error delta A and delta B are same, and if you take minus, then suppose here the error is 1 centimeter, here the error is 1 centimeter. 1 minus 1, 0. See, you are calculating the distance from P to Q in meters, but with 1 centimeter error, and you measured the distance from Q to R in meters, but you committed 1 centimeter error, and while measuring distance from P to R, if you say, if you consider minus sign, 1 centimeter minus 1 centimeter becomes 0. It means no error is committed. Has it any meaning? It has no meaning, because here 1 centimeter error is committed, here 1 centimeter error is committed. On a whole, you are saying no error is committed. And that is coming by allowing minus sign here. Therefore, we don't allow the minus sign. And we always take into consideration the maximum error. Therefore, we always take plus sign. We allow only plus sign. So now we considered error of a sum. When Z is equal to A plus B, delta Z is equal to delta A plus delta B. Now let us consider error of a difference. How to consider this error of a difference? Suppose first you travelled from P to R, a distance. Afterwards you travelled from R to Q, B distance. So the distance PQ will be how much? The distance PQ, if the distance PQ is represented by Z, then you can easily say Z is nothing but A minus B. Z is nothing but A minus B. Now, okay, now how we express the distance? The distance from P to R, it is expressed as A plus or minus delta A. And the distance from R to Q, it is represented as B plus or minus delta B. Now if you want the distance between P and Q, then here you write PQ is equal to PR minus QR. That is, here this PQ is nothing but Z. Z means what? Measured value of Z is Z plus or minus delta Z. Measured value of PR is A plus or minus delta A. And measured value of QR is B plus or minus delta B. Now, let me write the mean values first. Afterwards, plus or minus delta A. Minus into plus or minus becomes minus or plus. Minus or plus, plus or minus, both are one and the same. And here you can write Z plus or minus delta Z. But Z is equal to A minus B. So Z is equal to A minus B. So you are left with the maximum error is equal to delta A plus delta B. in finding difference also we got the same formula. For sum, the net error is sum of individual errors, and for difference also the net error is the sum of the individual errors. Hence, the rule, when the two quantities are added or subtracted, the absolute error in the final result is the sum of the absolute errors in the individual quantities. Now, let us do this solved example 2.8. The temperatures of two bodies measured by a thermometer are T1, T2. Calculate the temperature difference and the error therein. So from the problem, I took the data. T1 20 degrees centigrade plus or minus 0.5. T2 temperature 50 plus or minus 0.5. Calculate the temperature difference. The temperature difference T2 minus T1. First, what shall we do? Let us take the difference between mean readings 50 minus 20 plus or minus. Afterwards, see, these are the individual errors. So according to this rule, whether you are doing addition or subtraction, the individual errors are always added. Therefore 0.5 plus 0.5. So we get 50 minus 20, 30 degrees centigrade plus or minus, when these added you get 1.0 degrees centigrade. So in this way we express the difference. So far we considered net error in case of sum and in case of difference, that is plus and minus. So the remaining mathematical operations are into and divided by. So by multiplying we get a product. So next topic is error of a product. If Z is equal to AB, measured value of Z is equal to measured value of A multiplied by measured value of B. Measured value of Z is expressed as Z plus or minus Z, and that of A and that of B. Now let us multiply left side. See here Z is equal to AB. So here Z, here AB gets cancelled. Now see, what about delta A into delta B? Suppose delta A value is 0.1, delta B value is 0.1. That is error in A 0.1, error in B 0.1. When these two are multiplied, how much you get? 0.01. See, very small value, negligible value. So it is nearly equal to 0. Therefore, since delta A delta B are small, the product of delta A delta B becomes negligibly 0. Therefore, we are left with here A delta B and here B delta A. We are left with. And we always consider maximum error, so we always take plus sign. So this is this we have now. Now let us divide this equation by Z is equal to AB. Let us divide this equation by Z is equal to AB. So on LHS, delta Z by Z, on RHS A delta B by AB plus B delta A by AB. Here A gets cancelled, here B gets cancelled. So you are left with delta A by A plus delta B by B. We already defined three types of errors. When error is expressed in this fashion, it is called as relative error. So the relative net error is just a sum of individual net errors. The sum of relative errors of individual quantities. The relative error of the net value is equal to just the sum of relative errors of individual quantities. Now let us consider error of a quotient. When z is equal to a by b, measured value of z is equal to measured value of a by measured value of b. Z value is expressed as z plus or minus delta z. A value is expressed as a plus or minus delta a. B value is expressed as b plus or minus delta b. Now divide the equation by z is equal to a by b. Now on LHS, z plus or minus delta z by z is equal to, on right hand side, a plus or minus delta a by b plus or minus delta b divided by a by b. Now on LHS, z by z 1, next delta z by z. And here a plus or minus delta a by b plus or minus delta b into b by a. So here this can be written as by like this. So here we can write this as a by a 1 plus or minus delta a by a. Now see, this is in the, let me write first, okay, b by b 1 plus or minus delta b by b is equal to, numerator you write as it is, now bring the denominator to the numerator. Here its power is 1. When it comes to the numerator, it becomes minus 1. Minus 1. So now, what is its value? To find its value, we go for binomial theorem. According to binomial theorem, suppose x plus a power n is there. What we do? X power n x power n minus 1, x power n minus 2, like that. In each term, its power gradually decreases by 1. Now, here a power, in the first term a doesn't come, but in the second term a comes with power 1, and in the third term a comes with power 2. So next, this is nc1, nc2, nc3, plus so on. In this way, we expand according to binomial theorem. Now, if LHS is in the form 1 plus x power minus n. When power is minus, here the terms come plus minus alternate. 1 minus nx plus n into n minus 1 by factorial 2 x square plus n into n minus 1 n minus 2 by factorial 3 x power 3 plus minus plus. In this way, plus minus come alternate. But when x is far less than 1, then third and higher terms become negligible. They become when so in binomial expansion, when this term is far less than 1, only first two terms are consider worthy, and afterwards the third and higher order terms will be negligibly small, so that you can take only up to first two terms. So here also, in present example, see here, delta b by b will be far less than 1. Therefore, you can expand this up to two terms in this fashion. So then what we get? Let us see. First term we write as it is. First term we write as it is, and this term be expanded in this fashion, 1 minus nx. 1 minus, here in place of n you have 1. Therefore, see, so minus here so minus multiplied by x minus nx. Here minus 1 multiplied by this. So here plus or minus is there. Plus or minus we write as it is. And see here delta b by b. See, minus into plus or minus only. Therefore, 1 into delta b by b only. So you get on left hand side we have 1 plus or minus delta z by z, and on right hand side we have 1 plus or minus delta a by a multiplied by 1 plus or minus delta b by b. So here now multiplying 1 plus or minus delta b by b and plus or minus delta a by a plus or minus delta a by a into delta b by b. Here 1 plus or minus delta z by z. Since the product of delta a and delta b already you have seen the product of delta A and delta B is negligibly small, and here 1 and 1 gets cancelled. So we are left with delta Z by Z is equal to delta A by A plus delta B by B. See, for division also we got the same formula. Hence the rule, when two quantities are multiplied or divided, the relative error in the result is the sum of the relative errors in the multipliers. Now let us look at the solved example 2.9. The resistance R is equal to V by I. R is equal to V by I, where V, the V value is 100 plus or minus 5 volts, and I value 10 plus or minus 0.2 amperes. Find the percentage error in R. Find percent error in R. So this is asked here. So here the measured value, so this is in the form of quotient, no? Whether it is a product or quotient. Whether it is, see, this is in the form V plus or minus delta V, and this is in the form I plus or minus delta I. Here this V is mean value and delta V is error in voltage. I is mean value of the currents and delta I is error in current. Now resultant error in R, the relative error in R is equal to relative error in voltage plus relative error in current. This is the rule. Now see, error in voltage is 5, mean value is 100, error in current is 0.2, mean value is 10. Now here this is 0.05 and this is 0.02. So we get 0.07. So this is the relative error in resistance. So percent error in R is equal to relative error multiplied by 100. So 0.07 multiplied by 100, we get 7%. 7%. When see two resistances are given, this is in the form R plus or minus delta R. This also same. This is R1 delta R1, R2 plus or minus delta R2. So in this way they are expressed. Now these two resistances are connected in series. In series connection, the net resistance is equal to sum of the individual resistances. That you know already. Substituting the values. R1 value 100 plus or minus 3. plus R2 value 200 plus or minus 4. Now, first we add the mean values 100 plus 200 plus or minus. Afterwards, whether it is sum or difference, we always consider sum of the individual errors. Only sum. 300 plus or minus 7 ohms. Next. So this is in this way we write the values. Next, parallel connection. In parallel, here this is R1, this is R2. So what is the resistance between these two terminals? Say this is Rp value when two resistances are connected in parallel. That 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2, or Rp is equal to R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. In this way, we find the resultant resistances, the resultant resistance of the two resistors. Whether it is series or parallel, what we do when first we consider mean values. Afterwards, we consider the errors. In parallel also we do the same thing. First we consider mean values, afterwards errors. So, considering mean values, Rp is equal to, say, mean value R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. In R1, what is the mean value? 100. In R2, the mean value 200. In R1, the mean value 100. In R2, the mean value 200. So 100 into 200 by 100 plus 200, that is equal to 100 into 200 by 300. Here 2 zeros gets cancelled. So you get the value. How much you get the value? 200 by 3 ohms. So this is the mean value. Now we have to calculate the resultant error in parallel combination. For that purpose, what we do, we make use of this formula instead of this formula. To find mean value, this formula is convenient. To find error, this formula is convenient. How? Let us see. Differentiating on both sides. I should tell you the formula for differentiation. When you differentiate 1 by x with respect to x, you get minus 1 by x square. This is the formula. When you differentiate 1 by x with respect to x, you get minus 1 by x square. Or this also can be written as d of 1 by x is equal to, this dx can be taken to right hand side, minus 1 by x square into dx. In this way it can be written. Now see, these are exactly in this form only. Therefore, we make use of this formula. So, on LHS, 1 by Rp, when it is differentiated, we get minus 1 by Rp square minus 1 by Rp square into drP is equal to this 1 by R1 minus 1 by R1 square dr1 plus 1 by R2 minus 1 by R2 square dr2. Now minus on both sides can be cancelled and the Rp square can be taken to right hand side, so that you can write drP is equal to, so when Rp square taken to right hand side, it becomes numerator Rp by R1 whole square dr1 plus again the Rp square comes to the numerator, so Rp by R2 whole square dr2. Now let us substitute the values. Rp value, here Rp value, this is mean value. We got how much? 200 by 3. We got the mean value as 200 by 3. So here Rp mean value we got 200 by 3. Let me substitute this Rp mean value here, 200 by 3 divided by R1. R1 mean value. See here, you can see R1 mean value that can be seen here. R1 mean value how much? R1 mean value how much? 100. By whole square. So this also can be written as, this equation. Instead of substituting now itself, we can write this as drP can be written as delta Rp is equal to Rp by R1 whole square delta R1 plus Rp by R2 whole square delta R2. Now substituting the values, Rp value 200 by 3 divided by R1 value, next R1 value, you see here R1 value 100 mean value whole square delta R1 value 3 plus or minus Rp 200 by 3 divided by R2 mean value, here you see 200 whole square delta R2, error in R2 how much? 4. Substituting here we get 1.8. We get 1.8. Now measured value of Rp, it is expressed as Rp plus or minus delta Rp. This is the mean value, this is the error. So mean value how much we got? 200 by 3 plus or minus delta Rp value 1.8. So this much ohms. This is the answer. So far we considered error of a sum or difference. Afterwards, error of a product or quotient. Next, we should consider error in case of a measured quantity raised to a power. As an example, let z is equal to a square. See, a measured quantity raised to a power 2. Now, this can be written as a into a. This is in the form z is equal to ab. This is in the form z is equal to ab. For this, delta z by z is written as delta a by a plus delta b by b. So let us use this formula in this case. Here you can write delta z by z is equal to, see, for a you write delta a by a plus, and for this quantity, since this is again a, you write delta a by a. Now what happens? Both delta a by a plus delta a by a, you get 2 into delta a by a. 2 into delta a by a. See here, this 2 is nothing but its power. 2 is nothing but its power. Similarly, if you consider z is equal to a cube, for example, it can be written as a into a into a. Now you get delta z by z is equal to delta a by a plus delta a by a plus delta a by a. So that you get 3 into delta a by a. Again, this 3 is nothing but its power. So this can be generalized. This can be generalized now. Delta, if z is equal to a power p, delta z by z is equal to p into delta a by a. In this way you can write. When z is equal to ab, delta z by z is equal to delta a by a plus delta b by b. And when z is equal to a by b, then also delta z by z is equal to delta a by a plus delta b by b. For product, for quotient, we have common rule. Therefore, if the given physical quantity is in this form, see, in the numerator you have product, and as a whole in the form quotient. So for both product and quotient, since we have the common formula, so you can write here delta z by z is equal to power becomes a multiplier, and a is written as delta a by a plus q, power becomes multiplier, and delta b by b plus here power becomes multiplier, and c, delta c by c. So in this way, in general, you can write. Now let us consider the solved example. Z is equal to a power 4, b power 1 by 3 divided by c power 1, d power 3 by 2. Delta z by z is equal to, power becomes multiplier, a is written as delta a by a plus power 1 by 3 into delta b by b plus c power 1, there is nothing means 1, so 1 into delta c by c plus power 3 by 2, so 3 by 2 into delta d by d. So in this way, see, whether it is a product or quotient, the rule is common. Therefore you can write in this way.